Hi everybody, welcome back for a second half of our amazing speakers. We have more just incredible, inspirational experiences that are going to be shared from our three different speakers. So first of all, our first speaker is Maha Muhsen, and she is a volunteer with the Arab Group for the Protection of Nature. She focuses on food sovereignty in the context of occupation, particularly the multifaceted impact of occupation on women. So let's give a warm welcome to Maha.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm very pleased to be part of this conference and to have the opportunity to talk about food sovereignty in the context of the Israeli occupation of Palestine, in particular its impact on the Palestinian agricultural sector and how green resistance is key in that regard. I will be presenting on behalf of the Arab Group for the Protection of Nature. Established in April 2001, we at APM are a grassroots movement concerned with the protection and rehabilitation of the environment and the natural resources of Arab countries against all hazards, including the destructive impacts of war and foreign occupations. APM seeks to enhance the capacity of Arab peoples, including those living under occupation and armed conflicts, to protect, sustain, and establish sovereignty over their natural resources and food, while strengthening the advocacy efforts of civil society organizations on regional and global environmental issues. I now move on to some background information. Israel's 76-long-year ethnic cleansing campaign in Palestine has had and continues to have far-reaching destructive effects on Palestine as a political, social, and economic entity. These effects impact all Palestinians, but for our purposes today, I wish to focus on the impact of Israel's settler colonial occupation of Palestine and the destruction of land and agriculture, and how projects such as the Million Tree Campaign support Palestinian people's struggle to resist and remain steadfast in their land. In the West Bank, the construction of the apartheid wall split up the West Bank into 64 Bantustans, and the continuous confiscation of land to establish illegal settlements continues to hugely impact the movement of the Palestinian population and the Palestinian agricultural sector. In parallel, the Israeli occupation put in place discriminatory practices, such as preventing Palestinians from reaching their land, preventing them from accessing local water resources, burning farmland, uprooting trees, releasing toxic waste and raw industrial and domestic sewage from illegal settlements and settlement-affiliated companies directly into the grazing lands, olive groves, and groundwater. In addition to constant attacks by illegal Israeli settlers on Palestinian farmers, especially during the harvest season. Not only that, Israel prohibits the construction of wells and destroys water infrastructure, including rainwater collection facilities. As a result, food security is an existential concern, with more than 25% of the Palestinian households in the West Bank identified as food insecure. To make matters worse, pesticides are also used as a weapon in the ongoing war by illegal Israeli settlers against Palestinian farmers. Palestinians are denied access to information about pesticides and other chemicals manufactured by and used in plants operated in illegal settlements. Moreover, these pesticides and chemicals are illicitly sold to Palestinians in the West Bank, in addition to being dumped into landfills, in farmlands, and waterways in the West Bank. The Israeli army prevents Palestinians from collecting and analyzing water and soil samples from locations near the settlements. Furthermore, Israel imposes severe restrictions on importing technical equipment in the West Bank that could be used in the analysis of any such samples. This prevents Palestinian officials from comprehensively assessing the cumulative and long-term effects on both environment and health. Back in 2016, APM has published 2 reports with PANA on the use of toxic chemicals and pesticides in the West Bank and their far-reaching destructive effects. Those reports can be found on APM's website. In 2007, Israel imposed a complete land, air, and sea blockade on the Gaza Strip, turning it into the largest open-air prison in the world. Since then, Israel confiscated 35% of Gaza's arable land and turned it into a military buffer zone. It has also implemented a policy aimed at keeping Gazans just above the malnutrition threshold by controlling their caloric intake according to age and gender. The movement of people and products was greatly restricted, leading to severe shortages of food and produce, causing 60% of Gazans to be food insecure. Since 7 October 2023, this policy only got worse. 90% of children and 95% of pregnant and lactating mothers suffer from severe malnutrition. According to Oxfam, people in northern Gaza are forced to live on 245 calories a day, which is less than 12% of the recommended daily intake. Moreover, 90% of Gazans are in food crisis and more than 30% are in famine. Palestine has some of the world's oldest olive trees, dating back 5,000 years. About 80% of the olive groves in Palestine are more than a century old, basically older than Israel itself. Olive trees, along with another 2,500 wild plants, play a crucial role in a complicated network of ecosystems. Olives are cultivated for their fruit, but also to make olive oil and traditional soap. Wood carving using olive tree wood has also been a Palestinian craft since the 4th century AD. Olive trees have long played and continue to play a crucial role in the Palestinian local economy. Olives are symbolic to Palestine and portray Palestinian people's organic attachment to their land. This is represented with the famous Arabic saying, "Baqoon ma baqiya az-za'tar waz-zaytun." As long as there is one oregano bush and one olive tree, we will remain steadfast. Israel implements a systematic campaign aimed at uprooting millions of trees and replacing them with foreign plants to disfigure the natural habitat, destroy ecosystem, ruin agriculture, and most importantly, destroy the unique relationship between Palestinian peasants and their land. Not only that, Israel replants these uprooted and stolen trees in illegal settlements to create the illusion of an age-old agricultural connection with the land and the fallacy of the so-called Israeli farmer. To fight back against these Israeli practices, APN launched the Million Tree Campaign in 2001 in order to plant and replant trees in Palestinian lands under the slogan, "They uproot a tree, we plant 10." The significance of the program lies in countering Israel's deliberate confiscation of agricultural lands, which has contributed to high rates of food insecurity and unemployment in Palestine. In addition, the program helps to develop farmers' technical abilities to manage and sustain their lands in light of low agricultural and environmental support from other Arab and international organizations. With 60 to 75% of the agricultural land destroyed in Gaza, with 60 to 75% of the agricultural land destroyed in Gaza, on 15 April 2024, APN launched its Revive Gaza's Farmland, an emergency campaign to help Gazans counter the blockade and famine in response to the industrial-scale destruction Israel is meting out on the Gaza Strip in its ongoing genocidal war. The campaign aims to address the systematic destruction of Gaza's agricultural sector by helping farmers eager to rehabilitate damaged farms throughout the Strip. APN started with farming 200 dunums with tomato, cucumber, and aubergine, rehabilitating land and installing fences and irrigation systems. APN partnered with active local civil society organizations, municipalities across the Gaza Strip, and local farmer-led initiatives to rehabilitate 500 damaged vegetable farms, cultivate 50,000 fruit trees, rehabilitate 50 poultry farms, rehabilitate 200 destroyed greenhouses, distribute 800 beehives, among many other aspects of the campaign. The role of Palestinian women is indispensable in all of the above, whether at APN or other local community movements. Many women are at the forefront of efforts to fight back against the Israeli occupation and its practices. I would like to showcase one example of this role. This is Ismail, the field manager of a cooperative consisting of 20 farmers, men and women, who engage in organic farming. The cooperative owns 15 dunums of land, around 1.5 hectares, and has some additional rented land. Each farmer plants his or her own lot. Working with fair trade, they make a variety of products as well as grow crops. Finding market for fresh produce can be a problem, so if they have excess cucumbers during the harvest season, they make pickles. After the cucumber season, it is maftool time. Maftool, made from wheat, is similar to couscous, only larger. To supplement their crop of wheat, they bring additional organic wheat from another city, Jenin. Others plant za'atar, oregano, and the third group keeps bees. Previously, some of the farmers used a lot of chemical fertilizer, but they started to experience negative effects on plant growth and health. Now, they use small amounts of chicken manure. Having noticed how this improves growth, they are learning to make it themselves, starting with kitchen scraps. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maha, for this inspiring story of the continuing resistance of the brave Palestinian people. And I think all of us know some of these chants that we've all been singing in the past few months, so I think we have to chant a few. So, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the sea to the river, Palestine will live forever. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Thank you, thank you. Our next speaker has come from the other end of the world, and she's from Guatemala. And we're so happy to welcome Vicenta Jerónimo Jiménez. She is an indigenous human rights defender and a member of the Executive Committee of CODECA, which is the Comité de Desarrollo Campesino, a Peasants Farmers Development Committee, with its 200,000 members and 3,000 communities across Guatemala. CODECA is a force to contend with. It set up a political party, the MLP, the Movement for People's Liberation, in 2018. And Vicenta was elected as an MLP deputy to Congress in 2020 So she is going to be speaking, and we're going to count on Jacob, who's going to do some consecutive translation as she speaks. So they will work together, and you're going to get the two, the Spanish and then the English. Thank you.